Alright guys, so I think I blew up another transfer case. Another transfer case. I'm telling you guys, I hate four-wheel drive. Hate it. Hate anything to do with it. It's just one more thing to have to deal with. Luckily that transfer case I had did not sell. So I'm gonna go about, I gotta like drive like 4 miles up the road to an AutoZone and hope like hell it's the fluid, but last night it was pouring down rain, so every one of us were like parked along the way station. It's closed in Florida anyway. So we're gonna go do that, and I'm hoping it's just fluid, but as I'm driving, it's a constant grind. So I don't think it's the transmission, because I was cruising in 6 last night, right? And I'm just cruising at like 67 miles an hour, the same speed that I always do, and all you hear is real quick, and I was like, oh shit, and I slapped the neutral, and it stopped making the noise. I'm like, okay. So I started accelerating, I put it back down in third, and I start accelerating, it's I'm like, okay, but it's consistent anytime I'm underloaded. I started doing research, and I'm like, I was like, I thought it was the transmission at first. So I'm like, I looked it up, transmission grinding while driving, and nothing came up. So I'm like, okay, well, what about T-case? T-case grinding while driving, and there's a shitload of them. People were like, my transfer case grinds when I'm under load, this and that. So thinking we blew up another transfer case, but I'm not sure. So I'm gonna try to drive like 4 miles up the road to an AutoZone, change the fluid, and see what comes out, if anything. But I'm telling you guys, I'm sick of four-wheel drive and transfer cases, all that. Hate it. I doubt you guys are gonna be able to hear this. I don't know what that sound is. I don't know, all I hear, like, I can hear it very aggressively. The transmission shifts weird. First, second, third, fourth. Well, now it shifts normal, so I feel like I can move and I can roll. So I don't know. But I'm gonna try to get to that AutoZone. It's like 3.6 miles up the road, and we'll go from there, but goodness. Oh man. So we're like 11 hours from drop. So I'd physically be able to drop tomorrow, but I don't think I'm allowed to drop until Monday anyway. So I have no idea. Here, listen. Click, 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 click. Click, 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 click. I don't know if that's in the transmission. I don't know if that's the clutch. Let's push the clutch in and see if it does it. So it stops doing it if I push the clutch in. Let's try to re-accelerate. It sounds like the transmission. I have no idea though. That's some noises. I'm going very slowly right now. It could very well be the clutch as well, but I don't know. I really don't know. My brother wanted to come down here and come down, but it's like he doesn't even have a fifth wheel on his truck yet. So I don't know if that would work out. You can really hear it in third. But if I don't put it under a load, it doesn't do it. If I give it some throttle, it'll do it. Wish me luck, guys. This is yeah, this is a shit show. I need a 2-wheel drive tranny ASAP with a drive shaft and hopefully not a clutch, but if I have to do a clutch, I'll do a clutch. All right, so it stopped making its noises. I'm doing about 15 now. Just to kind of, I'm just going down the shoulder just to try to get to a AutoZone to go, like, I want to be able to like drain the fluids and refill them and see, because if something's grinding like that, there's going to be metal in whatever it is. So it's a very good way to be able to pinpoint what's actually wrong. So I don't care what it costs me. The only thing on this truck that has not been replaced is the transmission. And the clutch I put in at 330,000 miles. I put it in myself, and it now has 200 and looks like 217,000 miles on the clutch. So we're not doing too bad. Like I said, I'm not under a load right now. I'm just like cruising at 15 mile an hour, and it's stopped making the noise that it was making. But it was weird. It was making like, it just how it was making the noise. Yeah, here comes I need to avoid that. That's a broken tire. So yeah, I am so surprised there are no cops down here. Where I parked last night and all these other semis parked, I set my alarm for 6:30 and 7 o'clock. That is pretty. And usually a cop will stop by and try to fuck with you, and nothing. The way station's closed, nobody stopped to tell us we can't park there. I'm cruising down the highway at 15 miles an hour. There's no cops around, but last night they were everywhere. So I have no idea what's going on. Well, never mind. That's a grindy noise. Oh, I should have filmed that. That's a grindy noise. That was a bad grindy noise. That was a very bad grindy noise. I could feel the hesitation on that. I really hope that's the transfer case, but it doesn't sound like it is. All right, we're back down in first. I'm just gonna, oh man, I gotta go 1.8 miles. I felt it in third. I'm wondering if it is the transfer case and like the chain's getting bound up, and it just, you can feel it in the transmission. I really hope it's not the tranny though, but it would make sense if it was the T-case, because the drive shaft maybe took out the seal and then I lost all the fluid. Maybe that's what it is. Ugh, I don't know. I have no idea. This sucks. But don't worry guys, it's all staged, I promise. It's just staged. This isn't real, I'm just a paid actor. It's all fake, don't worry. All right, so we had an officer pull up behind us. We're actually coasting now, so I'm able to do like 15. Now we're doing 20, so it's like, it's better than the 5 I was able to do. I told him, he pulled up next to me, I was like, yeah, I think the trans is blown. It might be the trans, I don't know. Like, you could feel it. I went to pull out at the one light and it just fucking grabbed and wanted to stop me, so I pushed the clutch in and then it reset and it was fine, but it's definitely making some noises. I can only go like 5 miles an hour if I'm not coasting. The noises I am hearing are so bad. Listen. Oh, you can feel it trying to hold me back. Oh, that was bad. All right, tow truck's here. He's been stopped for about an hour. We've been sitting here, so we're gonna get it towed literally 0.2 of a mile. It's going right there to the auto zone. The clutch has clutched its last clutch. I'm gonna assume the biggest one. Just because it's, yeah. She's back there. Half the time you go to turn it on and it just doesn't. Not too bad. Will we clear? Nah, she'll go over the curb a little bit and be all right. Yeah. We're gonna try to bring her in here and go from there. GoPro battery's dead though. Hopefully it clears. It seems promising. Oh my goodness. Yep, you're good.
How about that side?
Yeah, you're good. This is great. I'm making everybody's day here. Making everybody's day here with this ordeal. Okay, so here's the fluid for the diff. Don't get me wrong, there definitely wasn't a lot in it, but there's no metal at all. So the transfer case should be all right. This is the transfer case fluid, not the diff fluid. I don't know why I keep saying diff, but we're gonna drain the fluid for the transmission next. And mind you guys, this transmission has 548,000 original miles on it. So if anybody's gonna be mad at it for failing, it's literally outlasted everything in the truck. Rear's been replaced, the front end's been gutted because it's been rebuilt a couple times, and front axles, front drive shafts have not lasted very long. I'm on my 3rd transfer case. I have my 4th one sitting at home. So it's between the clutch and the transmission. So hopefully it's not a transmission. If it is, I am gonna try to source one. which you guys will have already seen some of this part if you watched I'm probably gonna do a live stream. But yeah, so worst case scenario, I say screw it. I'll get my brother to come down here. We'll slap the I'll have to buy him a 5th wheel hitch and rails just to get him moving, but I'd send him down here, pay for his fuel and everything, and just tow the whole thing up and then put this on. But I don't know that I want to do that. I kind of want to prove a point and just like replace. I'm definitely pulling the transmission. I don't care. I'm definitely pulling the transmission. So one thing leads to another. We'll have to pull the drive shaft out, pull the transfer case down. It's definitely going to be a long endeavor, so whatever. Oh man, appreciate John's Towing for coming out and you know, doing what they did. If anybody wants to know what the tow bill was, it was $350 to go 1.2 miles. So this is going to be an expensive endeavor, but doesn't matter. Does not matter, because you know what you do in a business like this? You expect things to happen. And this is why I tell people, have your 3 months of expenses, have your $10,000 saved, have all this. Because at the end of the day, this doesn't happen often, but when it does happen, it can cost you a lot of money. This is probably going to be the most expensive breakdown I've ever had. And I'm okay with that, because I've run this truck for 2 years. This will be my 2nd year, so like a year and a half, probably about. And yeah, transmission's original. It cost me less money to swap the 12 valve in it. So we're also going to do the motor mount while I'm out here. But so if you come over here and look, I drained the NV 5600 in that. There's definitely some metal shavings, so I really do think that the NV 5600 might actually have finally died, but not the way that everybody who says you float your gears would have said that it failed. It looks like we have bearing failures, so we'll pull it out and check. Worst case scenario, it looks like I'm getting a 2-wheel drive NV 5600 and a drive shaft, and that's what I'm going to try to do. But we'll see. I'm going to pull the clutch out. Even if it doesn't need a clutch, I'm still going to replace it. It's only like 400 bucks, so I'm just going to buy a clutch. So I'd rather buy a clutch and get something better than. I have a $1,400 dual disc in here, and I absolutely hate it. I hate South Bend dual discs. All these morons on the forums will tell you, tell you with a recommendation, if you need a clutch, go with a South Bend dual disc. And I'll tell you what, those people are morons. And I really wish that they didn't have internet access, because that's what I thought when I got my truck. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get a, you know, South Bend dual disc. That's what everybody says to get. And they are absolutely a terrible bullshit clutch. They say they're rated for towing and they're really good and this and that, and they're not. You can't shift. That's why I started floating my gears initially. You know, you can't shift it right. It just wants to, like, you have to force every shift with a dual disc. I've driven other trucks with dual discs. They're terrible. So I am going back to an O'Reilly's factory clutch just to get rid of that, because I don't care. The truck doesn't make a shitload of power, and yeah, I'm just gonna throw in an O'Reilly's clutch, and I've heard good things about them, and we'll try that out. So let me know if you have an experience with them. If you don't have experience with something, don't comment below and say, oh, it's gonna do terrible, or it's gonna do, you know, don't comment about it if you don't have the experience with it. So I'm gonna try that, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna start pulling the drive shaft and all the other stuff. So all right, so everything is disconnected. Drive shaft, the plugs for the electronic BS. I just need to make sure that the vent is good. So ground's a little, huh? All right, like I was saying, the guy here at O'Reilly's is pretty cool, letting me do this here. So literally broke down at like the perfect spot, but yeah, like I said, I'm gonna try to get this down and see. There should be a vent somewhere, but oh, here it is. Yeah, I'll have to grab the vent and get that off of there, but other than that, we should be good to pull. Well, we got one out. Transfer case is out. All right, so I just checked it. Like, there's a lot of metal in the top here. So we, yeah, definitely smoked her. As for what's wrong, don't know. It works great sometimes, and then, you know, you'll be cruising and it's just grinding. So I'm wondering if we lost too much fluid or what, but I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I'll show you guys. Look here, I'll dig my finger in there. Look at all that. Look at all that metal. I just changed the fluid not too long ago, and there was not a speck of metal. So this just happened out of nowhere. So, and I probably could have avoided it because I knew that something felt off. I just didn't know what it was. I knew something felt off when I was shifting, and I guess now we know what it was. All right, so spent the most of the day doing the live stream for you guys, and we found multiple transmissions that we're gonna be picking up. So we got truck and trailer. We also got to do the trailer tire. It's a little cold tonight, so I'm not going to be doing anything with the transmission tonight, but we will get this thing pulled out tomorrow and we'll go from there. So we have one coming tonight around 9. I'm going to get a hotel around 9:30, 10 o'clock, and we'll go from there. But yeah, this is pretty much the endeavor that we got through, and here's the T case laying here. So we're gonna get ready to get going to the hotel and go from there. But I'm gonna go in and ask and make sure that this is a decent area, because I don't like leaving my equipment out, but this is literally the first time I've ever gotten a hotel while I was out on the road. So I do not ever do this, because this is why people get robbed and things get stolen from their trucks and catalytic converters get cut off. So let's get out of here.